If you don't have any friends to ask these questions to, hopefully my friends' advice give you some good advice. I want you to comment with how you knew you were done. How'd you know? Was it just a feeling? Because I know people who had 3 and they were like, and we are complete. So I feel like there's a switch that happens where you or your partner are like, this is it. Hey guys, my name is Shayla. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, we talk about motherhood, we talk about pregnancy, we do things kind of natural, kind of eco-friendly, kind of granola. If you're into that, please subscribe. If you're not new here, welcome back. I have an Instagram, Hey Shayla. I have a podcast, Hey Shayla. I have schmutz on my shirt. I just put the baby down. She was kind of snotty, so I think that's just snot. So mom life, this is real life. I was like, I just need to get this recorded so that we can get moving. Basically, this is not a scripted video. I took a couple of notes just for things that I've been thinking like the past few months, but it's my thought process on having 3 children. Because I have been dabbling with this, and my past few videos, I've mostly just been like, what has been consuming my mind this week? I'm gonna do that. A lot of you have been like, spot on, this is exactly what I was thinking. And I think it's because we're all kind of in the same boat. Like we have babies that are born like 2020 or 2021, right in that zone, maybe within like 5 years. So everybody's kind of on the same train here. And when we're on that, if you have had a baby who's 2 or older, are they on a multivitamin? We started HEYSHAYLA 6 months ago, and we love them. I'd heard about them on Instagram and everybody was doing it, and I would like resisted. Then my sister did it, my toddler tried them, she loved them. Let me tell you why I love them. There's 0 sugar in them. Why is there sugar in multivitamins? Probably get your kids to take them, I guess, maybe. It doesn't make any sense to me. So no sugar in here. They're not gummies, they're tablets like this. So I always just like pour it out and hand it to her like this, like, come get your vitamin. There are 12 fruits and veggies. So if you have a picky eater and they're not eating all their fruits and veggies, you can give them this and feel a little better about it. Comes in a refillable container with eco-friendly monthly refillables. Also, I just read this. On the back of here it says, take daily for superpowers. This is hilarious to me because I tell Aaliyah that her like immune system are superheroes and like germs are the bad guys. And so in the morning I'll be like, let's feed your superheroes. So it's funny that it's on the package here. But if you're interested in trying these, you can try it for 50% off. If you go to hiyahealth.com/HeyShayla, you'll get 50% off your first order and you can give that a try. You're welcome. So back to thinking about if we want another child. I know that I'm not the only person who thinks this. Do you want to know how I know? Because one night when I was a little desperate, I asked Google, should I have a 3rd child? Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't Google be the place that I go to ask if I should have a 3rd child? And you know what I found? Lots of blog posts titled, should I have a 3rd child? Which tells me lots of people are searching that and lots of people are making content about that. So people are grappling with this. And some people, them and their partner are like, this is the amount that we want. Some people decide that and then their fertility gets in the way even after they've had a baby or they have a miscarriage or there's different, like life happens and so it doesn't go the way that you planned, right? So Seth has always been like, oh, yeah, I don't know, whatever. We like decided we were gonna have 2, we were cool with that. We were like, oh, maybe 3. I wanted 4 at one point and he was just kind of like open to whatever. I made a video very similar to this summer where I decided ending at 2. We're having 2. 2 is great, 2 is manageable, 2 is fun. That's where we're gonna stop. And I knew at the time, and I told Seth this, I'm good to pause. I don't think 2 is the whole number. Like me and my sister, there was 2 of us and I loved it, but I have a big family on my dad's side and I loved the chaos and the gathering and all the things, and like it was just so fun. So when I'm thinking about if I want to have another, it literally can change daily. They'll be ill and I won't be able to like think and I won't be able to get anything done and I'm like, I can hardly handle 2 right now. I cannot do 3. And then like the next day everyone's feeling good, we're jiving, we're having like the best day ever, and I'm like, oh, we should have another one. And I feel like it also depends a lot on your partner, like if they have an opinion about it, first of all, and second, like for me, Seth is such a family guy. Like he prioritizes his family. He's home a lot, he likes to be with us, and every family dynamic is different. So if your family dynamic is this and it works for you, I'm happy with it. But I feel like if he was out of the house a lot and like going and doing other things and I would just be like, I cannot. I'm just really grateful that he values his family, and then I'm like, I want to have more of your babies. But he does work shift work, which makes it super challenging because I'm solo parenting a lot. In my mind, I have to say, am I cool with solo parenting 3? Because the reality is you are kind of, but like I just have to get my mind there. Is that going to be good? And like that's the other part that makes it hard, is because we're at a 1.5 years for the baby. At a 1.5 years, I feel like things really start to move well. Like their sleep starts to get good. They start to get fun and learning and all these, like it's just not the chaos that newborn life is. Then I'm like, we're just gonna start over and like go back to the newborn phase where it just is nuts. And we're also co-sleeping. I got Aaliyah this bunk bed where I was like, ooh, this is a cool bunk bed. You can sleep in the bunk bed if you want. She tried it like one night and then came down halfway through and then that was it. She didn't want to do it again. And so I was being real gentle about it, like, oh cool, that's fine, you don't have to do it. Figure it out. Now she wants to get rid of the bunk bed. She doesn't want it. She doesn't like sleeping by herself. Okay, how will I have 3 in my bed? Do I sleep train? Because we sleep trained Aaliyah before Esme got here, and then she came back in our bed because that's how we like it, I guess. Do I sleep train the 2 of them? So I had the bunk bed and I made a queen underneath. I keep that queen, get rid of the bunk bed, and the 2 sleep in there so I can lay down with them. They fall asleep, they sleep there together. In addition to asking Google, I also asked other moms. Like, I will ask a mom at gymnastics, oh, you have 3 of them, how far apart are they? Oh, do you like it? Is it good? Are you gonna have more? What are you doing? Or if I see a mom with 4, because that's like my limit. I remember when a friend of mine got pregnant with 4 and I genuinely felt bad for her. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, do you think they tried to do that? Like 4? And then I was like, maybe I want 4. I just keep going back and forth so hard. And I'm like, I'm not doing it for now, because now is gonna be insane. These little toddler years, this is gonna be nuts. I'm doing it for when they're grown adults. So when I asked my friends, I literally only asked friends who had 3 or more. So that tells you where I was trying to get my advice from. Like, can I do this? I didn't ask anybody with 2 or less, because I knew the answer that I really wanted. But one of them said, you don't want to just get through these little years so that you can have grown adults. You want to enjoy them. You want to enjoy your children. You want to be an enjoyable person to be around. You want to enjoy these years. Yes, they're going to be hard. They're going to be chaotic. They're going to whatever. You don't want to just like grip through them to get to the next phase. So she's like, that's a big factor. Think about that. Another one, and this one is one that really stuck with me. She said, you're not going to introduce a newborn tomorrow. So whatever like chaos and stress and whatever you're dealing with right now at this very moment, it's not going to be what you're dealing with in a hypothetical year from now. Even if you got pregnant right now, it's like 10 months from now. Let's just say a year. Let's just round it to a year. Your little one's gonna be 2.5, your big one's gonna be 4.5, which just, that makes me so sad. You have a year to like figure out the sleep thing. You have a year to wean your baby. You have a year to like figure out your housing situation. Because when we were pregnant with our second, I was like, we have to move. We have to move. Not anymore. I'm like, man, we have like a 2-bedroom house with like an attic that can be a bedroom. It's fine. If the 2 girls sleep in that queen room, the baby's gonna be with me for another year, so that's at least another 2 years. The girls up here in bunk beds. Our house is small, but it's fine. The neighbor told me there used to be 5 people that lived in this house. 5 children. They used to have 5 children. Where? Because when we bought this, the upstairs wasn't really finished. So I'm like, how? Now there was the basement. How did they do that? I don't know. So those 2 pieces of advice were really, really helpful. And they also said, your logic knows that eventually 3 will feel stable, because I'm like, we're just getting into the butter phase. It's just getting like easy. So do I just want to keep it? I say easy lightly. It's getting easier. It's getting more consistent. Do we want to keep it here, or do we want to add a 3rd and mix it up a little bit? And she said, you know that if you add a 3rd, you will eventually get to where it will mellow out. In this blog post that I found off of Google, she said 2 things. She said, we've decided to only have 2, and I'm grieving the 3rd baby that I'll never have. And I was like, that's not what I don't want to do that. I want to have a 3rd. Okay, the camera died. Apparently this tangent's getting a little long. So then what happened was I had friends that had babies and that were trying to get pregnant with subsequent children and were having fertility issues, or they had miscarriages. And I was like, why do we think that we can plan this, right? Like, let's not do it now, but let's wait a little bit. What if I get older and I can't do it? Or what if that just happens? Or what if there's lots of factors that can happen? Life can happen. So like, you have this plan, but it might always go how you planned it. So then I just was like, we can't plan all of this. We just have to take what comes our way. I don't know. It's really tricky. It's really tricky because you want to be like, let's try again next summer and assume you're just going to get pregnant next summer. Who knows? Who knows? And the older you get, the higher the chance of twins. Like, there's lots of factors that you just can't plan it all the time. First, we need to night wean this baby because I'm not even fertile at the moment. And then let's just roll the dice. Just see what happens. See if we can get pregnant. And 3 was always the plan, but we were just pausing for a bit and it felt really good to pause. And now we're like, okay, things are starting to feel a little more manageable. Let's just shake it up again. So we'll see what happens. But I just wanted to share this because I know that there are lots of people, even I was like this with my second. Like I knew we wanted to have a second, but I was like, can I do it? I remember being pregnant, very pregnant, and crying with my toddler. Like, what am I gonna do when there's 2 of them? And now here I am, like, whatever, 2 years later, and I'm like, now things are feeling good. If you don't have any friends to ask these questions to, hopefully my friends' advice give you some good advice. And obviously I'm leaning towards like 3. So if you don't need that advice, go ask some friends who have 2. And let's put in the comments. I want you to comment with how you knew you were done. How'd you know? Was it just a feeling? So I'm kind of like on my like 3-4 train. I'm like, let's just go one by one. Because I know people who had 3 and they were like, and we are complete. This is it. And obviously I have friends who have 4 or 5, whatever, and they want more kids. And so they're like not completely done. So I feel like there's a switch that happens where you or your partner are like, this is it. And it would be a really challenging thing to not agree with your partner. That's life, you know? So yeah, just wanted to talk that one out loud. Hope that was helpful and or enjoyable for you. See you guys all next time. Bye.